Hey guys, Darren here. Thanks for joining the stock option market update this week for the week of September 16th, 2024. We've got a great week ahead. We had a great week last week. We've got the Fed interest rate decision this week. So we're going to touch on where we are with interest rates, and we're going to touch on how we did last week and what it looks like going forward in the S&P 500 and all the different sectors as well. And then we're going to jump into the live trades on the option trading platform. Before we get started, if you appreciate the time and effort that goes into making these videos, if you can hit that like and subscribe button down below right now, it really helps out the channel, so thank you very much. Also, be sure and download the free options workshop in the link below. It talks about the two main benefits of trading options over buying stocks outright. There's also a paid course if you want to dig into options a little bit deeper and get the most bang for your buck. Use the link below and open an account with Mumu. You can get 8.1% on uninvested cash and 15 free stocks. You also get the free charting software that's great, and I use it every day. It's a zero commission online trading brokerage. Disclaimer, I'm not a financial planner and I'm not recommending trades. Please do your own research, and if you're new or learning options, I recommend you start small. All right, guys, so we started the week at 54.10. Let's look at the 5-day chart here. And we ended up at 56.26, so up a whopping 4% last week, really big. We are year to date still up 18%. 18% year to date, so up pretty big this year. If we look at the different sectors and how they did last week over the last 5 days, you can see consumer discretionary, everything was up. The only thing that, the only sector that wasn't up was energy. Technology really made a comeback with 8% last week. So that was the big winner. And again, everything else did well also. And then if we look at year to date, you can see everything is up. All the different sectors, utilities, technology, looks like utilities is up the biggest, and that was down last year. So that just tells you, stocks and sectors move up and down. So what was not good last year can be really good this year. So that's why a lot of people and a lot of firms and Schwab and Fidelity and people that manage 401ks, they rebalance every year, and there's good reason for that. So we've got a big week this week. The big one is the FOMC, the interest rate decision. Fed Chair Powell is going to have a decision on Wednesday, and it's pretty much a consensus that it's either going to be a quarter or a half. If we look, there's actually a 50% chance. If we look at the CME Fed Watch tool and we look at the September decision, it's exactly 50% for a quarter point cut and 50% for a full half point cut. So I think it's going to be a quarter point. Let me know in the comments down below what you think is going to happen, but I think a quarter point's already priced in. So if we get that, I don't think there's going to be a big change in the market. If there is a half point, I think the market could take off even more. We'll have to see. But again, I think it's going to be a quarter point. But let me know what you think. So the FactSet Earnings Insight, this is a report I like to look at. If we look at earnings growth for Q3, we can see 4.9% is the growth rate so far for the quarter. And actually, let me increase this a little. And then we can look at the PE ratio. We're at 21 right now, 20.9. So that's above the 10-year average of 18. So it just tells you that stocks are fairly valued or a little overvalued. And then if we go down to, let's see, page 14, we can look at Q4. We've got projected earnings growth of 15%. So that's huge. So it's going to be a big fourth quarter according to FactSet Earnings Insight. And then for the calendar year, 10.2% and 5.1 revenue growth. And then for calendar year 2025 next year, we're looking at 15.4% earnings growth and 6% revenue growth. So everything is looking rosy moving ahead. The fear and greed index is pretty neutral right now. So people aren't too greedy and they're not too fearful. So everything's just kind of in line right now. So let's jump into the trades. So um, I actually don't really trade oil, crude oil futures too often, but it was down and I put a trade on, I think I did it Friday. So made a little bit of money, 40 bucks on Monday. But the reason I did this with crude oil is basically because we are at, annual lows. This is a chart over the last year. And look where we are. We're way down here. And here's my 67, my short strike. So I figure over the next 30 days for it to go down much further, I don't know. Um, you know, crude oil and the FOMC and OPEC, and I guess the usage is down right now, and they are, there's so many factors that go into crude oil. It's hard to predict. So I basically just look at the charts, and when it gets this low, I go long. If it gets up above 80 or 90, then I'm probably going to go short. But I don't trade it a lot, and I do it defined risk definitely since it's crude oil futures. But I did this. And actually, Tastytrade now allows the option chains on crude oil on the futures. They didn't have that over here previously, but you can see I collected 400 bucks basically on Friday or on the 12th. When was that? Friday? Um, and I'm looking for that to move up over the next 32 days. All right, AMD. If you follow me, you know I like AMD. I like the chip stocks going long. And AMD, my target is much higher. It's 200. If you look at the chart, we kind of got a flag pattern here. But AMD, I've got on, let's see, over the last 30 days, we've made 348 bucks in AMD just trading it. So we've done really well. But we stand to make a lot more, and we're right in the middle of our trading range. I've got one call credit spread on here. So I like to sell options. Download that course if you're wondering about this. But it's always, you've got more room and profit range if you sell versus buy options. Typically, the only time I buy is if I'm doing leaps options long term. So I've got two put credit spreads and one call credit spread right in the middle of the range right now. We've got $360 in extrinsic value. So that's what we have left to, or I'm sorry, $895. As long as we stay within that range within the next 32 days. And you can see right here, P&L at expiration 1152, but that's because we've already got 257 right here that we've made. So love AMD, like it long. I'm not going to go short against it at this point. With the interest rates coming, I think tech's going to continue to do well. Broadcom, same situation. Here I've only got the put credit spread on, but it's the 155.50 small. We're up $152. We've got 112 left to go. Same situation. As long as I stay above this 155 short strike, we collect the premium. And you can see we just had a recent big move up. So we had that big comeback in tech just last week. So Avago Broadcom is one of them that is really looked at as one of the top AI stocks right now. Coinbase, this I love trading this. It's down right now. 163. My short strike is 180. I've got two of them. I put on another trade last week because it's so low at 150, 140. Depending on who gets in the White House, Trump is very much for crypto. Harris, I'm not going to get into politics, obviously, but either way it goes, I think coin and crypto is going to survive and do well going forward. So we're looking for it to move up. And here's my profit range right here. We're a little bit below that right now at 163, but I'm confident that it's going to move up. And you can see the big move that it's had down. And here's the 150 short strike that I just put on last week. And I'm confident it's not going to go down. So this is one of my top trades right now, Coinbase. DraftKings is another one. This is where I did buy an option long term. So out over a year, 460 days, we've got the 30 call, and then I sold a 40 call against it. So we just continue to collect money in DraftKings, and it's done really well over the last year. Um, let's see, yeah, 33.96, so almost $3,400 over the last year alone in DraftKings, and um, we've got the leaps. So, and then when you sell a call against it, it's a poor man's covered call is what it's called. And I've done some videos on that. So if you want to learn more about that, download the course, check out the videos. Gold. This has a high IVR, 67. So this is where if you sell premium, you can collect a lot. We've got 452 left to collect in an extrinsic, and we just need to stay between the 233 and 238. We're actually at the top end of that range, and you can see the big move up. So I'm actually okay with that. Um, and you can see we're still barely in the profit range, but we're at the top end. So I needed to move down a little bit. But, otherwise, once we get in, 10, 15 days, I'll just roll out to the next month and collect more premium. So that's kind of how that works. But again, with high IVR, we can collect quite a bit. Micron, another one of my top stocks right now. I'm long with a leaps option and then put credit spread as well. And we've done well in Micron. And Micron is down right now, one of the top AI stocks. Data storage is definitely going to be needed for the infrastructure and the AI outbreak that we're having. My target for Micron is way above. It's like 160. Let's see what these guys have it. If we go to research, forecast, look, everybody's got it a buy rating. Actually, you can't see, I don't know why it's not showing on my screen, but their target's like 160 as well. The financials are super strong, income statement and balance sheet. So Micron is a total buy for me. And again, with the leaps, I profit just like owning the stock as it increases in value. And so Micron's the top one. Netflix. I like to trade iron condors in Netflix. Ooh, I've only got 5 days left on my Netflix trade. I've got 592 left. Oh, okay. And the reason I didn't roll, you can see we've got earnings in October. So I didn't want to roll to October 18th because we've got earnings right before that. So I wanted to stay in September and just see what we can collect, see if we can get this premium in because we had such a wide range. So if you look at this, we're right in the middle still with 5 days left. I just put one on. I never do this, but I put one on Friday a week out. And if you look, yeah, right here, I collected $212 on the 13th. And that's Friday. And so I did the 655, 715. And if you look at the chart, we're staying in between a range, trending up slowly, but I love the range on Netflix. We've done really well in it over the past year, but I love Netflix going forward. We've got 592 that I'm expecting to make in a week. So we'll see how that goes. If I get tested on either side, I'll close out the losing side, probably roll out, probably close everything out and then just start a new iron condor in October. Actually, I may not because of earnings. So, there's no use putting on an iron condor and nothing's going to move until earnings and probably won't collect a lot of premium. I'll see. But the IVR is going to go up as we approach earnings. NVDA, 115, 105, put credit spread. So we're definitely long NVIDIA. We've got another $300 left to make in NVIDIA in the next 30 days. As long as it stays above this 115, we're at 119. So we're above that range and we're trending up, and you can see solid financials. Everybody's got it a buy. My target for NVIDIA is much higher. It's 140. We're at 119 right now, so I like that. Oxy is a big Berkshire Hathaway stock, so I've got a leaps in there. Buffett liked it, and he's kind of killed me, so not sure if I'm going to be following Buffett. No, I like Buffett. He's a value investor. Oxy is going to do well long term, solid stock, but it just hasn't happened yet. But hey, I've got to have some oil on, so that's one I've got a leaps on. Palantir done really well. I've got a leaps, and then I sold a call against it at 37. Their last earnings, I believe they crushed it. They're really doing well, but with Palantir, it's one of those where I do the leaps and then I sell the call against it, and poor man's covered call. You can see we've made over $1,500 over the last year, and done really well in Palantir, and just over the last 30 days, I have 50 bucks. But Palantir is a good one. Super Micro, it's way down, and it's a top stock. It's going to do well with AI, and the target for Super Micro is much higher than where it is right now. A lot of people have it a buy, and strong balance sheet as well. So I like Super Micro. I put in an order above the market for Monday. I may or may not do it. It's trading at 457. If I can get a third, or 300 bucks on a $10 wide iron condor at the 400 range right here, I don't think it's going to go much lower than that. I may throw that on depending on what the market looks like Monday. SoFi, I've got 12 different leaps options on in SoFi. So you know how I feel about SoFi. I think they're the dominant fintech and going to do well. It's just a matter of when. So I'm going to keep leaps on there rather than on the stock. I mean, you can have leaps for half the cost and just leverage more. SOXL is the semi 3x bull market fund, and I've got a 31.26 put credit spread. It's done well. We've made 262 bucks. We've got another 328 in extrinsic, and it's been down, and it is, I believe, moving up, and I don't think it's going to go down too much further. And as long as we stay above our short strike, we can even go all the way down to 28 as our break even, and we're at 33 right now. So with the interest rate cuts coming, I think it's going to do well. TMF, as interest rates come, it's a bond fund. It's going to do well. I've got a leaps option there. So as the interest rate cuts come, TMF should continue to move higher. And we've got two more. Let's see. ULTA, another Buffett stock, 345. It had a big drop, and I don't think it can go down much further. Super strong financials, and I've got ULTA profitable all the way down to below 345. It's at 378. So doing really well with ULTA right now, and I expect it to continue to do well. It's a great value play right now. My target for ULTA is much higher. It's like 500, so much higher than where it's at right now. And then the last one we've got is XOM, and I've got some iron condors on between 110 and, or I'm sorry, between, yeah, I've got the 110, 100, 115, 105 put credit spreads, and then I've got one call credit spread, 120, 125. So you can see the profit range. I may throw on something, another iron condor here shortly. We're already in October. I've got enough on, but this is a great one of the top trades. It's been trading in a range. You can see this range, and we're right in the middle of it right now. So I like ExxonMobil, 38 IVR, so we can collect good premium. So let's look at the earnings that we've got coming out next week. Not too much. Wow. GIS, what is that? General Mills, okay. Don't trade that one much. Darden, so some of the QSR, quick service restaurant, FDS, FactSet, okay. And then Lennar, we've got a home builder. You can see the home builders are doing real well. And then FedEx, I know, yeah, it's got a nice flag pattern. It looks like it's going to continue up. But I'll take a look at those and see if we want to trade any next week. All right, guys, I put a link down below for the free options workshop. Be sure and grab that. Remember to hit like and subscribe. Join Mumu. Get your free stocks. Leave a comment. Ask a question. I answer every one. Let me know what you're trading. I'll see you in the next video.